Welcome back to the channel. It is official. We have got our first ever nerf in the game Shadowverse Worlds Beyond. We've had some buffs in the balance patch, but this is our first nerf, and I'm actually quite encouraged to see that it has come when it's come. Basically, when the devs have decided, you know, it's needed. They haven't waited and said, oh, well, we'll wait for the mid kind of, you know, mid new release cycle thing for the balance patch. They've said, no, we've seen the data, we're making this change now. I think that's really encouraging for the game. So we're going to get into that, and in addition to that, we have some more Skybound Dragons reveals. Now, I want to be really clear because some people get a bit upset and they think I'm trying to clickbait with the thumbnail. Trust me, guys, I want my thumbnail to look good and I want you to want to watch the video, but I'm not trying to bait anybody, okay? What I'm trying to do is work a full-time job and still bring you news about the game. And sometimes that means I might be like not the first person to it. It might take me a couple of days. So it's kind of more of a reaction rather than me saying, you know, I've got some card to show you or anything. So just want to clear that one up. All right, so let's dive in. First of all, let's talk about the actual nerf then. It is, of course, the Maddening Benison. This is a Havencraft spell. And for those who have been playing the game, particularly towards the top end of the meta, you're going to know that Havencraft, I've been completely abusing this in the Crest Haven build, right? So remember, they fill their crests up, then they play this, obviously. That means that they get a massive 10 heal, but this doesn't actually then fit in the crest spot, so there's no countdown and taking 10 damage a couple of turns later. So this was definitely the most broken heal ability in the game. And what they've done is they've basically, rather than change the mechanic, which I thought they might do, instead they've just kind of quite cleverly changed the cost. And they've changed that from 2 cost to 4 cost. Now, why is that clever? Because actually, it's about what you can play it with. Even if you've got 10 player points to play, the difference between 2 and 4 is actually quite a big deal. For example, you might have run out of crests. You might be down to 3 crests. Previously, you could play your 2 costed taunt crest or your 3 costed heal crest, and then you can play the Maddening Benison once you'd filled your slots back up to 5. It's going to be harder to do that now. It doesn't mean you're not going to have turns where they still do the same old tactic. They are. But it's going to be harder for that to fall into place. It's going to be less often. And there's going to be more times where Maddening Benison is going to be played because they need the 10 heal, but they are going to not have full crest slots. And that means that it will then take the 10 damage as it was intended to do. So I could see this being quite big, actually. I think that the Temple card will come back in more into some of the Haven builds where they're running this card, because you'll probably try to put a barrier on your Warlord instead and counter it that way. And also, I think some decks I'm seeing are getting rid of this anyway, and they might try to find alternative crest builds. So really interesting. Simple change in the end, 2 to 4. Let's see if it fixes the problem. That comes in on the 29th of October when we get the new set landing. All right, so speaking of which, I want to catch up on a few of the reveals. Some of these are newer than others. If you've not seen my previous 2 videos, go check those out, and hopefully I'm on top of most of the reveals. I think this is pretty exciting. We've got Tikoh, the Surgeon. This is a Havencraft. It's a 1-costed 0/4, and it says, when you engage an amulet, so remember that's when you've put the amulet down and then you actually manually select to engage it, it says restore 1 defense to your leader. Evolve, select any follower on the field, and deal it 3 damage. This is a gold card. Would you ever use that evolve? When you engage an amulet, restore 1 defense to your leader. Okay. So because it only costs 1, I guess you have to put this down with other amulets and then trigger them to get the heal. In that sense, it could be quite a cheap heal. And also, if you just leave this down, your opponent kind of wants to get rid of it if you're playing an amulet deck, right? Otherwise, especially if they're an aggro deck, because if they don't, you're just going to keep healing. So in a sense, they've got to deal 4 damage to this in a way that might be defending other units or defending your hero from taking, your leader from taking more damage. It's kind of an interesting card. Yeah, cool. Next up, we've got Luar, the Light Personified. This is a Portalcraft, 5-costed 6/6. Really good stats for 5, right? And it's a fanfare ability that says, do this 6 times, deal 1 damage to a random enemy follower. 6 times 1 damage to a random enemy follower. Okay. So it gets rid of like barriers and things like that. 6, give all followers in your opponent's hand +1 strength. So it's got a very powerful fanfare and it's got very good stats. So the drawback is that you're actually buffing the strength of all units in the hand. That's interesting. That's really interesting. Kind of like gain an advantage now, but pay for it later. Skybound art, gain crest lure personified, which is a countdown to crest. It says whenever an enemy follower with storm attacks a leader, give it -3 until the end of the turn. Holy schmoly, that is good. Wow. Oh my god, that's so good. Especially if you know, like if you're timing this, right? Say you play it on 6 and you know Odin's coming. That's really good. But I don't know how bad that drawback's going to be. I tell you what, it's really interesting card design, this. Nice, you love to see it. Yeah, very interesting. Next up, we have got Seofon, Leader of the Eternals. This thing is a 4-costed 4/3 legendary swordcraft follower, and it comes with the Skybound art. So it comes with a fanfare ability that requires Skybound art. So remember, that means you need to have filled your gauge, your Skybound gauge, to 10 for this card. So it has to be in your hand and have seen evolves. And if it has, you add the number it's seen to the actual turn. So if it's turn 8 and he's seen 2 evolves, then you've reached your Skybound art of 10. And if you've done that, it says fanfare, evolve all unevolved allied followers on the field. Now, this type of ability, I saw this in a different faction and I wasn't too impressed, but in Sword, that's pretty good. Because think about in Sword, like when you play, you know, when you play these cards out that put 4 units down at once. Imagine like playing this on turn 9 with, oh god, what's the 5-cost called that puts down 4 units? And they all just evolve. I mean, yeah, it's pretty cool. Like, I think this is actually pretty good. I think this is actually pretty good. Next up, we've got Zooey, the Ally of the World. This is a 5-costed 5/5 legendary for Dragoncraft. And the fanfare says gain 1 max player point. Okay, so it's a ramp card, guys. We've got another ramp. Okay, Dragon are finally ramping up. We're getting there. Enhance. I like it on 5 as well, right? Because if you play the first one on 3, then it's obviously turn 5 next. And you don't need to evo this. That's quite a big deal. That's a really big deal. And then actually you could play... Ooh, got some ramp ideas with Dragon. Yeah. This looks pretty good. I'm excited for this one. It says enhance 10, so if you play it on turn 10, you actually gain Storm as well. So a 5/5 Storm. Set your leader's max defense. Set your leader's max defense to 1 until the end of your opponent's turn. Give your leader reduce all damage taken to 0. So you... What? So you put your own leader's defense at 1, but your opponent in the next turn... But you can't take any damage. Does that mean can't take damage on the leader or damage on the units as well? That's a really interesting ability, right? It's kind of like a race ability. You're obviously gaining Storm, and you're basically trying to end the game within 2 turns. It's kind of like putting a clock on. It's kind of interesting. Let me know in the comments what you think about that ability. It's not like anything we've got in the game, so I'm keen to see how that one plays out for sure. This was revealed, I believe it was a Korean streamer, and it's called the Illusory Realm of Alfheimr, and it's basically a 2-player point forestcraft spell, and you get to select a mode. And it says, if you've got Super Skybound art, which is 15 on your gauge, it says do all of the following instead. We're seeing this coming quite a bit on some of the mode cards, like select 1, but if you got this, you get all 3. So what are the modes? 1 is draw a card, restore 1 defense to your leader. Okay, that's quite nice for Forest, right? It's just sifting through your deck. It's going to be quite nice for combos and things like that. Give all allied followers on the field +1 and rush. So that's quite nice for the more like tempo builds. And then the third one is give all allied followers on the field not +1 and ward. Don't know that. Not sure how that doesn't come in really at the minute with many builds, I don't think. But a very, very versatile card, right? Really versatile. So I kind of like this card, actually. I don't know if it is too expensive. I don't know. Well, certainly, actually, this... No, actually, like, when you think about the... I don't know. I actually think this is really quite good. I think the first two are ones we're going to see more often. But you can get quite a bit of value out of that, especially with, like, Tempo Fairy, you know, that second one. And obviously things like Combo Roach or Izudia want the kind of the draw. So yeah, I think it's okay actually. Now the Golden Knight, I think this one's been out a couple of days. It's pretty cool. It's a big guy in Swordcraft, and you select a mode. You can either super evolve the follower, you can deal 4 damage to all enemies, or you can restore 4 defense to your leader. Now for 7, I don't think any of those are that great, to be honest. But the enhance ability is fantastic, because if you play this on 9, it basically says activate all 3 instead. Now that is absolutely phenomenal, guys. I'm not going to lie. Like, this for me could definitely bring back mid-range. You know, it's the type of sword that I really like. It's a sort of slightly grindier version of sword, and I'm really keen to play this in that version for sure. Come back, Gildaria. Now this one is called Mireille Risette, Journey of Hardship. It's a 5-costed runecraft follower with 3/3 stats. The fanfare says summon Mireille, and then if you've got Earthright 2, you get to evolve. You get to evolve the copy and this follower. So basically, you summon a copy of it, so you get 2 3/3s, and if you've got the Earthright 2, good that it doesn't cost you an Evo. You basically then Evo both units. So remember in this, because of Skybound art, we're trying to find extra Evos, right? And that means you're going to be essentially getting Rush. So it's 2 5/5s? Is that right? 2 5/5s with Rush? On 5? God, it's like another Han and Grey, right? And obviously you've got the extra Evo off on the Skybound. I love that you don't... The cost is the Earthright. Yeah. That's going to be really good in an Earthright deck. I don't know whether it makes it into Spellbound. Probably not, but... it's a nice card to have for sure. It's only a silver as well. Next up, we have a bronze card. The Suframare, the Wandering Tutor. It's a cute little 1-cost unit. It's a 1/1. And it is runecraft again. It says at the end of your turn, spell boost your hand X times. X is equal to this follower's attack. And if you evolve, it says gain can't attack followers or leaders. At the end of your turn, spell boost your hand X times. X is equal to this follower's attack. So there must be a way of boosting the attack then. Maybe there's a translation thing there. I'm not quite sure I'm understanding that one. Let me know your thoughts on it in the comments. Then we've got Izmir, the Frozen Fate. This is a another dragon craft, 5 cost. It's a 5/4, and it says fanfare. If you have 10 max points, evolve this follower. Okay. I mean, getting 10 is going to be way easier with dragon with this extra ramp card. That could happen quite quickly, guys. And then you basically get to evolve this for free, yeah? Yeah. When this follower evolves, you deal 3 damage to all enemy followers. So not only do you evolve, but it's an AoE as well. I mean, the card's not bad. It's not bad. I don't know if that's what you want to be doing on 10, though. Do you want to be playing a 5 cost on 10? Maybe it goes in like the sort of Fenny kind of grind decks, like control decks. Next up, we've got Eustace. It's a 5-costed 5/4 Portalcraft follower. And it's got a fanfare if you've got Skybound art active, which is select another allied unevolved follower on the field, evolve it, and this follower. So again, we're getting that thing where we basically, we on a fanfare, we get to evolve 2 units, not costing us an Evo point. In addition, it gains a clash, deal 3 damage to opposing follower. Yeah, I mean, again, this is going to be... I don't know that this is any good, but it's all going to be about, like, the Skybound art again. Like, it's very situational, right? A lot of these abilities, they look pretty decent, but it's all going to be about how easy is it to get that. And you've also got to ask yourself, like, how good is this to just play out on 5? And quite honestly, if you just play this out on 5, it's terrible, I think. Yeah, I don't think this is good if you just play it out on 5. So it really is one for the Skybound deck. And then last but not least, the art looks very different on this game. It looks like it's out of like Pokemon Go or something. I don't know. Vyrn, Beloved Partner. It is a bronze. It's a neutral card, right? It's a 2-costed neutral that fanfare simply says, if you've unlocked Super Evolution, evolve this follower. So I quite like this. This is nice because this means that we've all got, like, whatever class is your favorite, whatever class you are playing, we've all got access to a nice, simple bronze neutral card, sorry, that can give us an extra Evo. So if we are trying to build a deck that works towards that Skybound art, it's nice to see that there's a neutral one that will help us do that. Probably works best in Dragon, obviously, just because they get to Super Evo much... oh, no, that's wrong. Sorry, that's Overflow they get to. They don't get to Super Evo any quicker when they ramp BJ. I need to get that firmly in my head. So ignore that last bit. But yeah, as I said, neutral card, so we've all got access to this, so that's pretty cool. And that's everything, guys. That's all I got for you in this one. Really cool seeing a steady stream of updates coming in every day. I hope you like my presentation of these reveals and my initial reaction. Obviously, we'll do much bigger deep dives once we've got everything confirmed, but just a bit of hype for now, and I'm super excited about the nerf to Benison as well. Hopefully, that's just going to take the edge off of Crest's win rate. Like and subscribe, guys. If you enjoyed this, then please check out this video or something else on the channel. Thanks for all the support.